Okay. Hello, Deb. Saw you come in. It's 12:10. We'll set the timer here. So welcome everybody to our Thursday noon hour class. We're going to get comfy in a seated position. I'm going to stay cross-legged. If you have some pillows or yoga blocks to stick under your sit bones to give a little bit of height, that can feel so much better than the ground. But just take a moment to get settled, shake it all out. You can bring those eyes to the ground, perhaps close those eyes. I'll just begin by noticing all the sounds, whether it's people, fans, buzzing. Just notice what's going on. And then move your awareness to the temperature of the air. Is it cool? Is it warm? Is it moving? Is it still? And move your focus to where your sit bones are connecting with the ground. And allow that area to get heavy and spread out, almost like water, so that you're solidly connected and anchored to the ground. And then grow up from that solid connection. Allow your spine to stack those vertebrae like Lego. So it's reaching toward the ceiling. Your neck, your head on top of that spine as you feel it grow. So it's anchoring down and reaching up both at the same time. All together, let's exhale the air from your lungs. Inhale deep through your nose. And exhale. Blow away that morning, let it go. And seal up those lips and begin to move your breath just through your nose. Making each breath a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. Letting our bodies and our minds knowing we're coming into our practice, we're moving into a new zone on our day. Let those elbows be heavy, the shoulders be heavy. Increase that space between your shoulders and your ears. And on your next exhale, bring that gaze over your left shoulder. Maybe you want to open those eyes to the other side of the room. Check in with your neck, how it's feeling. So we move that gaze to the right side. Starting to open up that neck, reminded that it can look sideways, not just at a screen. We'll bring that gaze back to center and begin to look up toward the ceiling, opening up the front of the neck. And slowly move the neck, chin toward the neck, toward the chest, looking down, opening up the back of the neck. We'll bring that gaze forward. Interlace the fingers together in front of your chest. We'll inhale and exhale those arms out straight in front of us, pushing the palms away, widening the palms, spreading your pinky and thumb away. Begin to rotate those arms up, keeping the elbows straight. And you're going to stop moving when those elbows want to bend or your shoulders want to stop. That's where you're going to stay. And check in with the space between the shoulders and your ears. Can make it bigger. And we'll move those arms out to the sides, actively pushing your hands away, just like you're pushing away those invisible walls. And think about bringing your shoulder blades closer together in the back. Bring your right arm over your left, give yourself a great big hug, wrap those fingers around your back. Bring the shoulders down. Option to stay here or option to raise the elbows and bring the forearms back to back. Be squeezing them together. Option to stay or go into full eagle, bringing that top hand forward and around the bottom hand. Whichever option you choose, play around with the raise and the lower of the elbows and see how that changes the sensation in your upper back and shoulders. Find a place that feels like a nice, good stretch for you. Then we'll release those arms down and pull the shoulders to the front a few times, making great big circles. And if they're trembling a little bit, it just means they're learning to move in new ways. We'll interlace those fingers again. Have the opposite finger on top. Inhale. Exhale, push those arms away, flattening those palms, widening the pinkies and the thumbs. Keeping those arms straight as we move those arms up until the elbows want to bend or the shoulders don't want to move. And you're going to stay there. Feel the breath move through your nose. And then we'll sweep those arms out to the sides, pushing away those invisible walls. Be active with the arms. Think about bringing those shoulder blades closer together in the back. And if that feels like a weird sensation to you or you're not feeling it at all, just think, where are my shoulder blades? Can I bring them closer? Just play around with that. One day that sensation will be there. And then let's bring the left arm over top of right to give yourself a great big hug. Release those shoulders down from the ears. You have the option to stay here or move those elbows up and find the forearms back to back, actively pressing them together. Or taking that top hand and reaching it forward and around the bottom hand. Find your eagle arms. Moving your focus to your shoulder and your upper back. Play around with the rise and the lower of the elbows to find the sensation of stretch you want to feel today. And check in with your breath, moving through your nose. And release into this sensation. And we'll let the arms come down and roll those shoulders up and back. Great big circles, the biggest you can make as they roll back. Warm up those joints. And let's come around to one leg in front, one leg pushing into your thigh. So we're sitting nice and tall in a half, okay? We're gonna inhale those arms up nice and high. And exhale, hinge the hips. Only go as far as those hips want to hinge, keeping the back straight. You can bring those arms down. We're at the beginning of class. We may not be bending far, that's okay. Think straight back, reaching long. And we're going to sweep over to a side plank. So you're going to bring those arms sweeping towards your bent leg, sweeping all the way around so your right hand goes behind you. Push into your hand, push into your shin, push into your feet, and come up on that one arm and that shin. And then you're going to slowly lower, sweeping around to come back to that half forward fold. And with your own breath, your own pace, you're going to sweep around, coming back on up. into that little side plank, side gate, and then sweep back. While you're exploring this movement, maybe you want to inhale one way and exhale the other. Perhaps as you come on up into your side plank, instead of just facing forward, maybe you want to open the chest toward the ceiling. Notice how that changes the movement. So as we flow toward a forward bend and an arm balance, we're just moving with intention. Really noticing how it feels as we travel through space. Push ourselves up and then flow back to forward fold. And after your next forward fold, you're slowly gonna walk yourself back up. We're gonna switch legs. So the right leg, the other leg's gonna go up front. The other one's gonna tuck in. You might be on different legs, that's okay. We're gonna sit tall, reach those arms up, and exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Bring those arms down, keep the back straight. Take a moment to feel this place. And when you're ready, begin to swoop over, past that bent leg, reaching the arm back and coming up into your side plank. Taking a moment to feel it here the first time before you sweep back into your forward fold. And then you get to choose the pace as you move between these two poses. Really being intentional with how maybe that air feels as you move around, goes by you, how the sensation changes in your body as you move through the poses. Where does your body really appreciate the movement? Where does it maybe want you to move a little bit differently? And do you like the side view or the upward facing view in your side plank? What does your body want to feel today? And after your next forward fold, we're gonna walk ourselves back up. Take a moment to find staff pose. So both legs out in front of you, flexing the feet. Energy is going out the feet, really active legs. Feel your sit bones ground down and allow that spine to grow nice and tall. Let your head and neck sit on top so you have energy going out the top of your head and your feet at the same time. Now you can stay here in staff pose, or if you want to keep practicing the arm balance we've been doing, you can bring your hands between your knees and your butt. You're going to lean forward, curve the spine, and push your sit bones off the ground. Maybe you want to experiment with lifting the feet. And then you'll come back to your staff pose. Maybe you want to try that arm balance one more time. If you're still in staff pose, if the arm balance isn't for you today, I want you to purposely relax. Feel how that spine changes, and then get back into the staff pose with energy coming out the feet and the head at the same time. If you're trying that arm balance, keep playing around with that. Wherever you are you feeling that inhale through the nose? Exhale through the nose. And then slowly, we're gonna move into our tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're gonna take the left foot, reach it back, tuck the toes, really push the heel away to stretch the calf. And then you can raise that leg up so it's in line with our glute. Back foot flexed. Take the right hand and walk those fingers forward. Maybe you want to lift up that hand. You can gaze at the mat to help you balance, Or gaze down those fingers to add a bit of challenge. Belly button to spine, reaching long, heel to fingertips. Feel that breath move through your body. And then slowly with control, bring those knees and hand back into tabletop. Then we'll take the right foot back. Tuck the toes, push the heel back, stretch that calf. Flex the foot and bring that leg up in line with your glute. You begin to walk the left fingers forward, reaching that arm out, gazing at the mat or down the fingers. Like think about stretching from fingertips to heel. Belly button to spine. You feel that breath move through. Exhale, we're going to come down. Tuck those back toes, spread the fingers and begin to push the front of the mat away as you move your sit bones towards your heels, floating the knees. And then gradually begin to lift those hips up high and folding into your down dog. Maybe you want to bend one knee and then the other, doing that pedaling motion. Stretch out the calves a little bit more. So our fingers are spread, we're pushing the front of the mat away to lengthen our body, raising the hips high, and then letting the weight drop down the back of our legs toward the heels. Moving into stillness in our down dog. All together, let's exhale the air from our lungs. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Bring the gaze forward as you begin to step forward with that left foot all the way. Left foot comes between the hands, dropping the back knee and finding your lunge. We're going to take a moment to sit tall in the lunge. Think about your back thigh and think about that back thigh reaching toward the floor as you bend. Keep lowering till you find a nice stretch in that back leg. Put our hands up into cactus arms. Begin to move those cactus arms forward as we curve the spine into a C. Those arms are coming together, forearms come together, your spine comes into a C. And then we're going to open those arms back up, have the spine hollow out, proud chest, and we're going to lean back a little bit with those cactus arms. So with your own breath, we're going to move between a little cat spine, where we're arching forward, and a cow spine, where we're arching back. Just do that a few more times to your own breath. Moving the spine and the arms to help. After your next cycle, we're going to bring the hands on either side of the foot, tuck the back toes, push the heel back. We're going to come into a high lunge with that back knee off the ground. We're going to reach those arms out to the sides. Begin to lean forward off of the front foot. Push up into warrior three or your airplane. You need to put those hands down. You can do that and then play around with coming to balance on that front foot. Back foot is lengthening long, pushing away that invisible wall. Those arms can be out to the sides. And staying on your front leg, on your left leg, we're going to begin to stand up. So bring that right knee into your chest as you come on up to a standing position with that right knee into your chest. We're going to set that leg down. Standing tall, finding your mountain pose, closing the eyes. And just notice where you feel your muscles were activated. Where are they maybe quivering or firing up? Where are they still pretty silent? All together, let's exhale the air. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And bend the knees, plant the hands. This time we're going to step back with the left foot long. Bend the knee, bring it down onto the mat. We're going to come up into our right lunge, coming all the way up for a minute. Focusing on the back leg. As we sink down, think about the back leg yearning for the mat. Sink down until that back leg finds a nice long stretch on the front of the hip and the front of the thigh. We're going to open those arms back up to cactus and try a few more cat-cows with the arms. So curling forward and bringing the forearms together. Maybe you want to tuck the chin in. Exhale, open the arms, proud chest, gaze the sky into a little back bend. And then exhale, you're going to curl in again. So you can move to your own breath. As we go between arching the spine and hollowing the spine, we go between opening the cactus arms wide, narrowing the cactus arms together. And after your next cycle, we're going to bring both hands down beside the foot, tuck the back toes, push the heel back to raise the knee to find your high lunge and your balance. A little wobbly there. We're going to reach those arms out to the side. Begin to lean forward over the front foot and then pop up into your airplane. You got a little help from the table there. So really push that back leg away. Find that spot on the floor that doesn't move, that will help you balance. Feel your leg pressing into the ground. Begin to bring your leg in the air into your chest as you come into standing on your right foot. Take a moment to balance. Then we'll bring that foot down. Roll those shoulders back, close the eyes. And check in with your mountain pose again. Where do you feel the muscles turning on? Maybe you want to check in with your breath. How it's changed since the beginning of class. And if it's rapid, you've been working, you can have a rapid breath in yoga. It doesn't always have to be long and deep. We just want to observe the change of pace in our breath. And all together, let's exhale the air from the lungs. Inhale deep. Exhale long. And then inhale to chair release. Sweep those hands forward, sit the butt back. And take a moment to really reach those sit bones back and reach those fingers forward, stretching out the torso. If this is really easy, I want you to sink lower. And if you're shaking so much you think you're gonna fall over, I want you to come up a little bit. Find the place that is work, but in a good, healthy way. Reach the sit bones back, reach the fingertips forward. Let's bring those hands to heart center. Let your left foot sink down and your right foot begin to lift up. Lean forward and reach that right foot back. Reach it back and find your lunge. Pivot the back foot to the side of your mat. Bend the front knee. We're finding our warrior two. So our back foot is facing the side of the mat. Our front foot is facing forward as we sink low. Reaching those arms out long. Let's gaze the back arm. Make sure it's the same level as our shoulder. Bring the gaze back to the front hand. Really reach those arms long. Push the front knee straight. Flip the palms up and begin to lean back. Your front hand comes toward the sky in a reverse sun warrior. Your bottom hand reaches down the back. And here I do want you to check in with your breath. You're leaning so far back you can't breathe. I want you to come up a little bit. So that you can inhale deep. And exhale long. And we're going to come back to warrior two. Release those hands down and reach behind you, interlacing the fingers or maybe grabbing the fingers. Think about getting those shoulder blades together. And then begin to bow forward. Your torso is going to reach to the inside of that leg as you reach yourself down, let that head and neck hang. Maybe you want to reach those arms up. If this is scary and you're feeling really unbalanced, you're going to release those hands and bring them down. This is quite a big strength builder on the front leg. So check out that the back leg is also pushing into the ground and helping you out here. Then we're going to release those arms, bring them on either side of the foot and pivot the back foot forward. And get ready to take a great big step to the front of the mat. Find your forward fold. Bend those knees a lot, bring your stomach to your thighs. Release the head down. And then slowly raise those hips up, only as far as you need to stretch the back of the legs. And then feeling the feet push into the ground, just sweep those arms out to the side and push yourself all the way up to standing, reaching those arms up nice and high. Maybe your gaze comes up. And then exhale, hands through heart center. Bringing them down by your sides. Closing our eyes and checking in. When you're ready, let's sweep into another chair pose. Those hands really reach forward, those fingers reach for that invisible thing that's just almost there. Your hips are really reaching back. Challenge yourself to find the depth that is challenging for you, where you're working the strength. This is one of those poses that builds those muscles to keep us independent as we age. We'll bring those hands together, heart center. This time our right foot settles down, our left foot comes up and begin to lean forward and reach that foot back. Reach, reach, reach. Find your lunge. Pivot that back foot so the toes face the side of the mat. Bend the front knee. Let's come up into our warrior one. Bending the front knee, reaching those arms long. Looking back at that back arm and bringing it up to shoulder height. If it's not there, bring the gaze back over the front. Reach those arms long. Feel both feet pressing into the ground. And then straighten that front leg. Whew. That always feels nice. Lift those palms up. Begin to lean back into your sun warrior. The sun might be going away for fall, but it's still there this time of day. Maybe you want to visualize how warm that sun can be. Checking in with the breath. Exhale back to warrior two. And release those arms down, interlace behind your back. Opposite fingers are holding or opposite interlace. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then begin to forward bend to the inside of your leg. Coming down and then relaxing your head and neck. Reaching those arms up and away. It's not about depth. It's about building strength in that front leg, building some flexibility in your shoulders and your arms, the back. You guys got this. Feel that breath. I used to really not like this pose early in my yoga. And then release those arms, bring them on the side of your foot, pivot the toe, and get ready to take that great big step to your forward fold. Inhaling deep. Exhaling long. When you're ready, push the feet into the ground, sweep those arms out as you come all the way up. Reach those arms high, gaze toward the ceiling. We'll bring those hands to heart center. By our sides, standing tall. Taking a moment to check back into your body. How is it feeling? We're gonna move those feet about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider. And take a moment to lift the toes, set them down. Maybe do a little circle on your feet or a couple of circles on your feet, just feel them out. Switching that the other way. And then coming into stillness, and really allow your feet to spread out and widen and balance you. We're going to lean into the left foot, pick up the right foot. We're going to cross it over our left leg and sit down. So it's almost like we're in an invisible chair with our legs crossed. You can stay here if you choose. If you want to add on arms, you can reach those arms long out beside you. And then we're going to sweep the right arm on top of the left. It's that great big hug. Maybe you want to bring those arms up. And maybe you want to find your eagle arms. Wherever you are here, working that balance. No matter which arm balance you choose. And all together, can we exhale the air? Inhale deep. Exhale long. And then slowly come out of your balance. If you're hopping around, if you were in and out, you're practicing your balance. You don't have to stay in one spot to practice your balance. Shake those legs out. Go back to connecting with both of your feet. And then we're going to shift into the right foot, bring up the left. Sit back into that invisible chair and cross your leg. Whew. All right. This is what we're working on, balancing on one leg. If you want to add the arms, we're going to have the left one on top this time into the hug. Perhaps you want to raise the elbows, forearms, eagle arms. You guys know the choices by now. Find where you want to be. Really focus on the balance. You waver and come out. Just come back in. See if you can take that long inhale and long exhale as you settle into that balance. And then slowly, you're going to come out. You're going to shake it out. Feel those feet. And then we'll walk those feet quite wide, toes out, heels in, getting ready for a squat. All together, let's exhale the air. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Inhale, sweep those arms up, bringing the palms together. And then slowly moving those hands down, knees out, we're gonna find our squat. You can stay high if you choose. You can just sink down into a lower yoga squat. This one took me a very, very, very long time. You can also, if you want, put some height under your heels. If your heels don't want to touch the ground, but you want to try and go lower. Wherever you are, I want you to try for a straight spine. So instead of curving your spine, think nice and tall, straight spine. Find that breath. And then we're going to come all the way down to our sit bones on the mat. We're going to bring those legs out in front of us. Re-find our staff pose. So energy out the front of the feet. Energy down into the ground from the sit bones. And then coming up the spine, up the top of the head. You get to choose. Do you want to stay in staff actively? Or do you want to move your hands between your thighs and your knees, curve your spine, and try a little bit of arm balance work, lifting your butt, maybe lifting the feet. Whichever option you choose, staff or arm balance, I want you to feel that breath. Mostly check that you're not holding it. And then we're gonna let that go. Whew. Bring your right foot into your thigh and your left leg out in front of you, just like we did at the start of class. We're gonna reach those arms up and begin to hinge at the hips, leaning forward, reaching with that long back, and then bring those arms down. And then maybe you wanna release the head and neck. And as we stay here, just think about when you did this at the start of class. Compare it to now. What did another 25 minutes of movement do for your mobility and your flexibility? How does this feel in terms of sensation? Is it different now? Is it the same? And then let's sweep over to that side, plank, coming up, shine the chest to the side. Then maybe experiment with shining the chest toward the ceiling. Again, noticing any differences or similarities from the start of class to now. And then let's sweep around to that forward fold one more time. And then we're gonna come on up. Switch our legs. At that nice tall spine, reach high. Hinge at the hips when you're ready. Bring those hands down. And I want you to think, how has this changed since the beginning of class? So noticing the back of your leg, maybe your knee, your lower back. How has 25 minutes of movement affected your body? And then we're going to sweep over to the side, coming around to that side plank. Have that chest shine to the wall, and then maybe experiment with shining it up toward the ceiling. How has that changed since the beginning of class? And then slowly we'll come down and find that forward fold one more time. Coming on up to a seat. And you can choose if you want to spend the last couple of minutes on your back or if you want to come into a seated position. Take your time to get settled, closing those eyes. I want you to notice where your body is connecting with the ground. And see if you can use your next exhale to allow your body to just spread out like water. And just begin to expand its connection point with the ground. Letting it become a little wider, a little heavier. And all together, let's exhale the air from the lungs. Inhale deep. Exhale long. Letting that body be heavy into the ground. To come back to where we started 40 minutes ago. Taking a moment to notice how our muscles, our sensation, our body has changed during this time. Maybe noticing how the space between our thoughts has changed. I'm thinking of one thing today that you are grateful for. Bring our hands to heart center. Take one last deep inhale. Exhaling through the mouth. Blowing class away, letting it go. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, readjusting the light. I wish you all a wonderful week. We'll see you next Thursday or on the YouTube replay. As always, email us at wellness if you have any questions about today's practice, and we'll see you next time.